All right, YouTube, welcome to the live stream, and I've got something for you here that wasn't exactly on anybody's radar today. At least I didn't see it on social media, and this is the type of thing that I live for, to know that the Sharks season is precisely 2 months away from today. It's October 16th, opening night against the Winnipeg Jets. 2 months away from today, August 16th, 2021, but I'm getting this question from a lot of people. And I'm going to warn you right now, in the course of this video, I'm going to have a hard time answering it for you because it's anybody's guess right now. How will home games at SAP Center look to start off this hockey season? I say anybody's guess because clearly the situation in our world, in our country, in our state, in our region, it does seem to be changing every couple days with the pandemic as it carries on, the Delta variant. Clearly, we thought things were getting completely better. It's taken a few turns for the worse. I would estimate right now, the best case scenario for the Sharks, like if they were to host games tomorrow, it would probably look like this. I don't think there's a capacity limit. I think they would be allowed to fill the building with the understanding that every fan would either show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within a certain time frame, and also that masks would be enforced pretty much in all situations unless somebody's eating or drinking, and maybe even that would be under some limitations. Again, let me also make this very clear. From me, right now, all of this is speculation, all right? This is an educated guess on where things would stand, like I said, if games were being played right now. Again, monitoring the situation, I don't know if we've seen the worst of where this current wave and surge is going, and if those ideas could change that I have here. But I do feel like what I just spelled out right there would probably be reasonable, and it would probably be a best-case scenario for the Sharks. By the way, before I get too much farther into this video, can I just say if you're watching this right now and you're not subscribing to the channel, consider doing that. It would greatly help out this project of mine. I'm trying to grow this out as a platform for you and I to have these discussions and conversations. I do live chats. I do call-in sessions now and videos just like this about the Sharks, A's, and a lot of different things. All right, back to the topic at hand here. If there were things that changed for the worse, what does it look like? I don't know. Attendance limitations, even something more strict. I don't know. If things got better by October 16th, I don't know. Does it mean masks aren't enforced? The proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test goes away? I don't know. Those are all elements at play. And I truly feel like at this point, 2 months away, it's an impossible guess to make of how things will go. 2 weeks away, I firmly believe we should have a better idea. And on that note, I mean, you can see that there are events here at SAP Center August 21st, August 25th, the Guns N' Roses concert. Then you get Monster Jam coming in for a handful of days in a row, couple other events, and then you get to the NHL preseason here on Tuesday, September 28th. So it's not like any of this is going to be a shock. We're not going to ramp into this and all of a sudden find out, the night before the home opener, well, things have changed and there's new limitations. I think some of this will be, a bit of I don't want to say a testing ground, but enforcements will be made for all these events just like they would for a hockey game. There's not a whole lot of difference between what you just saw and a hockey game, with the exception that I do think the Sharks would draw a lot more than Monster Jam over and over and over. But I digress. Specific to the Sharks, let me just say right now, and I don't have it prepared here for the screen, but what is so fortunate for them this time around is that they have 5 extended road trips in the first 2 months of their season. In fact, they only play 9 home games between October and November. They play 1 home game, the home opener, then they're on the road for 5. And then I think they come back home for 4, and then back out on the road for 5 more. And then it's 3 5-game roadies within the first 2 months, which does set up nicely because, let's be honest, it buys them time. It buys all of us time to hopefully get our situation improving to the point where the league, the county, the team itself, the building, the CDC, everybody can make a responsible recommendation and decision here. And let me also make that point here and now. The Sharks are going to be the ones telling you the message of here's what's allowed, here's how it's going to go. But in all reality, I mean, they are an interested party. They want to keep their guests and their customers as safe as possible. They want to follow every single rule that they have to and need to and want to. At the same respect, they are the messenger. They're very much the messenger in all of this. There are other parties, other bodies that control exactly how this is going to go. They're going to determine what's safe and what's not. It's just up to the Sharks to communicate the message, enforce it, and keep everybody safe, which you know they'll do. So I want to make that clear. When you hear a lot of this come out, don't think of it as the team coming up with these mandates, good or bad. It's a necessity of what they're being told. I also want to point this out too. I'm hoping here. I'm hoping that all of these things can happen. When I said earlier that it was a best case scenario to have unlimited capacity and have, some kind of ticket of entry, in addition to your ticket being proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test, all of those things are done in the name of safety. And obviously, I want safety first. I want the games to happen. I want all of you to be there. I want all of you to enjoy it. But I'm a person who also believes that, if these things are being done because professionals say that this is going to keep everybody safe, then that's obviously what I think we all want. I also want to make this last point. What is so difficult about this situation is ramping up for a new sports season primarily indoors. It's one of the things about this current baseball season that I think, for a couple different reasons, it's been a totally different visual and a totally different scenario because you had health across the country in a much better place. April into May into June, baseball games for the most part completely outdoors. And so fans have been seeing that. You're also probably going to see football and college football appear in the next couple weeks and fans outdoors again. But it's so hard, this situation, this ever-changing situation, indoors. That's very hard to judge the variables, judge the variant, how the Delta variant is different, the same, whatever, indoors versus outdoors. And my point is, I'm doing a whole video on what will Sharks games be like. Well, I mean, what's a baseball game like right now? For a lot of people, in a lot of ways, it's not that much different than normal. But again, we're talking about an indoor sport here. We're talking about the county of Santa Clara specifically, who has been very aggressive with their protective measures. And I think that's why all of this is a question. But like I said, my best educated guess right now out of the gate would be that they could fill the place with those handful of, not restrictions, but qualifiers. Proof of vaccination, negative COVID test, wearing masks for everybody when applicable, when possible, when humanly possible. Okay, I've told you all about that. And there is actually a whole nother conversation to be had here. Let me switch gears to the Oakland Raiders for just a second. Did I say Oakland Raiders? I've honestly, that was a Freudian slip right there. That was bad. Let me try that again. Let me switch gears to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, they just came out with something here in the last hour that is a departure from kind of what everybody else is doing in the NFL and also around sports. That's Allegiant Stadium. It's right off the strip. It was ready for fans last year for 2020. Obviously, they couldn't have any of them there. The team was upset by that. Las Vegas is upset by that. They want to get fans back in that building, to a safe extent, but also they are a year behind in getting the experience and kind of getting the payback for this stadium. But check out what the Raiders are doing right now. The Las Vegas Raiders will require all attendees at home games to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination through Clear's free mobile app and Health Pass feature, allowing fans to attend games without wearing a mask. Look at the headline right here. Las Vegas Raiders to require proof of COVID-19 vaccination for Raiders games at Allegiant Stadium. The policy will take effect for the first regular season home game. That's on September 13th. That's Monday Night Football against the Ravens. The Raiders are the first team in the National Football League to announce a vaccine/no mask policy. So again, that is a true departure from what everybody else is doing in sports right now. Will you see winter sports teams following suit with this? The NBA and the NHL starting up right around the corner as well? Remains to be seen. I'll continue here. The Raiders implemented the change in accord with a new emergency directive from the Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak regarding large events. Quote, health and safety has always been our number one priority, said Raiders owner Mark Davis. After consultation with Governor Sisolak and other community leaders, this policy ensures that we will be able to operate at full capacity without masks for fully vaccinated fans for the entire season, Davis explained. So that's ambitious. Again, I think we've all realized in recent weeks and recent months and recent years to never say this is completely how it's going to be. I think everything is fluid to a large extent. But here you see Mark Davis's quote, this policy ensures that we'll be able to operate at full capacity without masks for fully vaccinated fans for the entire season. There's also this bit of a twist. The Raiders announced a policy regarding all full-time employees. No, I take it back. Skipped a paragraph there. The Raiders will offer the opportunity for fans to receive vaccinations on site at Allegiant Stadium prior to Raiders home games, permitting newly vaccinated fans to enter wearing a mask. The Raiders announced a policy requiring all full-time employees on the business and football staffs of the organization to be vaccinated. This was back in May. So they've already required their employees to do it. Stadium management company, ASM, and stadium concessionaire, Levy, have also implemented mandatory vaccinations for all full-time staff at Allegiant Stadium. The Raiders are going to hold a press conference, by the way, on this tomorrow. So back to the task at hand here of the Sharks. I'm not suggesting what you just saw is what the Sharks are going to do. I'm not at all. But I just wanted you to see that. That's a comparison of and again, that's an indoor stadium. Allegiant Stadium seats 65,000. But that's how they're going to try and handle this. That's a different approach. Without masks, with even stricter requirements getting in the door. So I want to pass all this along. I'm sharing this with you because I'm genuinely interested in getting things back to normal, doing them safe. I absolutely know not everybody's going to agree with everything on one side or the other. I don't need to say that. You don't need me to tell you that. But I am here to, be curious about this right now. It's a fluid situation. We're 2 months out. 2 months out from right here, right now. In fact, 2 months from this very day at this very time. I don't even know what time it is. 10:23. The game will be finishing. The first game will be finishing 2 months from right now. And I also want to point this out. I heard fans ask the other day, well, is it possible they'll have no fans again? That to me is obviously the worst case scenario. And at this point, I'm going to say it's a safe bet. That's not in the cards at all. All right. So if you're worried about that, I'm not here to suggest that one bit. In fact, I'm suggesting the opposite. But that's kind of where it stands right now. Like I said, 2 weeks away is probably when you'll really know how it's going to be. And all those other events that I showed you on the screen here earlier, all this is going to give you an indication too. Through August, through September, what type of enforcements are there for Monster Jam and the Gold Over America tour with Simone Biles? When those things roll into town, they're not going to be that not that different from enforcements that an NHL hockey game will be. All right, so hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're excited for the season. We'll make plenty of videos on the actual team and the NHL and hockey coming up, but I just had to say a few things here because a lot of people have been asking about what Sharks games might be like to start the season. So hopefully that helped you paint a picture. Until next time, everybody, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.